And for today's mission, I shall change out the ignition switch, not the ignition switch, the turning signal switch in the 2016 Dodge Dart. First thing I want to do is get my 10 millimeter and take off the negative post. As you can see, I've already done that. I'm going to tuck this bad boy to the side, and it's recommended to let it sit for about an hour. So let the timer start and then the games will begin. Okay, we're back. Here we are. We disconnected the battery, let it chill for about an hour. Now we're going to take this airbag off, which I've already begun using my handy dandy 10 millimeter socket here and a little screwdriver. I'll open up this little panel here. Inside there's a 10 millimeter head bolt. Open that one up and take it out, which I've already done. On the other side, you got the same thing. You open up that little panel with the little screwdriver. Inside there's a 10 millimeter head bolt. You pull that out. Keep your bolts in the same place. There's my little screwdriver and a magnet just in case. Anyway, now the airbag is ready to come out. Must be very careful with this. Very delicate. It's like a ticking time bomb. There are 4 electrical connections that need to be taken off the back of this airbag before we can fully remove it, and you must be super careful. Don't use no metal tools during this process. Hands only. So here we go. With that being said, wish me luck. I'm going in. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. 1, 2, 3, 4 electrical connections disconnected. As you can see, our airbag has been removed. Here's that bad boy right here. See the color coded, the blue and the yellow. Is color coded for these 2 connections. This one here goes up top right there, and then on this back side is where this little guy goes. Just be very delicate with this process, and we have removed our airbag. Put that bad boy to the side and move on to the next step, removing the steering wheel. All right, y'all, welcome back again. Here we are removing the steering wheel. Before we remove the steering wheel, there's a couple things that need to be done. There's a few connections here. This one here. So as you can see, there is no connection for us. I think this is the heated steering wheel option connection. There's no cable coming to it, so there's no need to unplug anything there. I'm not sure what this one is, but it definitely needs to be unplugged. So we'll pull this little tab and pull that little wire connector out. And then the next thing we do, you see here I've highlighted in red. See that little line? This is a 24 millimeter nut that needs to come off. It's probably got thread lock on it. It's a 24 millimeter. Use not a pry bar, but a breaker bar. Take that off. Underneath this nut is a dot. That dot and this little line that I've highlighted in red need a line when you're putting the steering wheel back on, so your wheel will be straight. So just remember that. I will highlight the dot after I take this nut off. So unplug this, take this nut off, 24 millimeter, and then remember your line and dot must align once you put it back together. And here we go. Also carefully feed the wires through when you get the nut off and pull your steering wheel off. Feed these wires through the holes, don't damage them, and that'll get your steering wheel right off. See you when we get back. You can see the steering wheel has been removed. This is the nut. You see the blue stuff inside the nut? It's thread lock. Recommend to use thread lock when putting this nut back on. It'll keep it from coming loose from the vibrations of the car. Get you some thread lock. You can see there's a steering wheel, and I've already highlighted the little dot. You see the dot there? I've highlighted it in red. But that dot must align with that little line there when you put this back on, in order for your steering wheel to sit straight like it's supposed to. So anyways, on to the next move is to take this little thing and open it up so we can get our turn signal switch removed and replaced. Okay, we're back. Unbeknownst to me was this little cover around the steering wheel. You can see I still got the bottom of it hanging. Jacked it up a little bit. These little clips. Really hard. This thing covers the steering column. Kind of hard as hell to get off. Had about 3 T15 Torx bit screws. One under the little handle right here, and 2 on bottom. And then it had multiple clips. I can't even get that one off on the bottom, so I'm just gonna let it hang till it's out of my way. But yeah, that was probably the hardest part of this mission so far, is just getting those little clips and stuff off. Sorry if you can't see that well. Anyhow, I'm almost to my point. I need 2 T8 right there. I need to take those 2 off. That's my next mission. But yeah, this little plastic covering was like the hardest part of all. Kind of sucks, kind of damaged it a little bit, but should go back in place nice. Hopefully you never notice it. Anyhow, on to the next mission. Take these 2 off right here, and then we'll be really close to moving that switch out of the way. All right, we're back again. We took our 2 little, sorry, let me get the right angle, T8 Torx bit screws out of right here. I had to use a little screwdriver to kind of help the screw out, because it kind of wants to sit in there. I'm just going to screw it. Get those little guys out and come up here on top. Right here. Sorry, lights on my head, so I'm doing all I can. Right here, we're above the wheel now. Right here, there's a little panel. Just pull it up, move it out the way. So we'll pull it up like that. Pull it back, and you just sit it right there. See? Right there. Now, there's a little clip in here, right there. See that little prong in there? We got to push that in to release the switch. And then there's another little right there. We'll push that in, and that should release the switch. And then we got to take this little ribbon off, which is connected right here. There's a couple little, on this back side, there's a couple little white prongs on both sides where it connects. Once we get it loose, we can pull it up a little bit, and we'll have some wiggle room, so we can, it's got 2 little white tabs on the sides. We'll lift those, and then that ribbon should disconnect, and we should be able to pull the switch out. Our switch is out. Our little ribbon right there. That's where our switch sat. Here is our infamous switch right here. Let me get my light right. Let me put this light back on my head. Bear with me just a moment. Twiddle your thumbs. Take a quick restroom break. Whatever you gotta do. Anyway, I'm back. So, that's where our little ribbon connects right there. The little white thing. That's how this bad boy was in there. That's a little clip right there in the top right corner. And then this other little clip on the bottom here. So I held it in. Once you get some wiggle room, you just undo the little tabs where it plugs into that little thing there. And your ribbon is loose. Bam. You see that? See that little gizmo? You get the light right. Bam. So, here's our bad boy. Here's our problem. Got it out. And here's our replacement. Hopefully it works. I bought it from a salvage yard. Cost about $441 plus tax from AutoZone. I got it for $65 plus tax from LKQ in Burleson, Texas. So anyhow, they sold me the whole assembly, so I'm gonna have to take this switch off of the assembly because I just want to put the switch in. I don't know about the whole assembly there. So anyways, I'm gonna get this switch off, and I'm gonna use all the steps I used in reverse to put this bad boy back on and put everything back together. Fingers crossed and hope it works. I'll let you know. All right. As you can see, we got everything back together, everything closed up, connected, secured, tied down, patched up. You know what it is. Switches in place. Trying to get the best angle for you. Anyway, feels like it works. So next we hook up the battery and give it a go, see what happens. Oh yeah, hardware check, all tools in place, all hardware, none left in my little magnet carrier deal there. So that's a good thing, we're not missing no hardware, we don't have no extras. And I'm gonna connect the battery and we're gonna see what it do. Alrighty, I use my handy dandy 10 milli. Put the this light right. Put my negative back on the battery, nice and tight, nice and snug. I see we got power back in the car. Nothing's blown up on us yet, so here we go. Let me close this up and give it a go. All right, so here we are. Moment of truth, we're on. I've turned the headlights on, which is not controlled by that switch, but here's our bright lights, controlled by our newly installed switch. Bam, works. On, off, on, off, on, off. Let's go right, left. Nice. Holding steady like it's supposed to. Back to neutral. Right. Holding steady like it's supposed to. Back to neutral. Wipers. Wipers working like a champ. Looks like it's a winner, baby. I just saved myself about $600, maybe even $700. I'm no mechanic, but I got the job done. You bitch you.